Eric from Teachers Talking Tech. I would like to make a quick video here for you about SeeSaw blogs. I had some questions about them. We talked about them in our podcast. I wanted to just give a little quick rundown of how they work, some different options. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need to do is go up to your name where you find your menu. Now, I'm working on my Mac, but it looks about the same on your iPad as well. You can do either way. When you go down to Manage Class, okay, and you go down under Students and Parents, you'll find your class blog. The first thing you're going to need to do is enable your blog. All right. Then SeeSaw is going to ask you to make a name for your blog, and it'll assign that name as a URL for your blog too. That URL is how you're going to share your blog, and I'll get to that in a bit. Okay. The next is you go through the settings. Like, do you want students to be able to post to this, or do you only want you to choose what goes on your blog? Now, because the blog is more of a public entity, then I chose that I was the only one that has that right. So I usually pick our best work or things like that. I put that on the blog rather than having kids. They would just put everything on there. Okay. Now, the way to think of the blog is where normally things in SeeSaw are only shared with parents and teachers. If you post them to the blog, anybody who has your URL could potentially see that child's work. So it's more of like an open concept, more like if you put something on a website. Okay. Now your blog settings, you can pick whether you want your kids' folders to be shown. So like if people wanted to only see one child's folder, okay. Do you want to enable comments on your class blogs? Now they do require approval from you, but if somebody visits your blog from another school or from anywhere, do you want them to be able to leave comments? And then finally, do you want to password protect it? So that would mean if somebody got the URL, do you still want them to have to put in a password? And those are your decisions. Okay? And then beyond that, let me go back down here to my blog. You can change the appearance. You can take a look at it. And then there's connected blogs. All right? So if you get the URL for another teacher, you can connect to their blog. All the blogs start with this URL, and let's say if it was like Miss Thompson's second grade, and she told you, oh, it's Miss T's blog, then you would type that in here, and then you would hit the check mark, and it would connect you to their blog. All right? Now, let's take a look at the blog itself. Once you enable your blog, you're going to see a little thing right here that will tell you how to add things to your blog, okay? So if I tap that, it'll say, hey, do you want to publish this piece to your blog? Yes, I do. And now it's on our blog. To get there, I just tap right here on the world, and off we go. Here are the things that are on my blog. All right? So these are things that I've chosen. Now, if you want to find out your blog's URL to share with somebody, you go right up here to this little wheel, and it tells all the names. There's your blog name. You can change that if you want. Your URL, you probably want to leave that the same if you shared it. And then the description and what your header is. Okay? So that's where you find that. Okay, so there it is. So you can see, you can share it openly, but you can lock it down somewhat by saying only people that have a password and some things like that to kind of up the privacy level a little bit. All right, so that is all about blogs. If you have questions, you can email Mike or I at teacherstalkingtech@gmail.com, or leave a comment on our Facebook page or Twitter as well. We'd love to hear from you. All right, signing off.